Hi guys, once again my name is Fred and welcome to Semenshia Farms. I know most of you have been requesting for more videos about cattle farm, but because I haven't been at the farm so much, I have been missing out. You know, I'm in Kenya now, and as part of my journey, I'm visiting a farm, and we all know how advanced Kenya is when it comes to dairy farming and cattle farming in general. I'm very privileged to visit this farm and be able to learn more about dairy farming. Very few of us in Ghana and in West Africa actually practice intensive farming. And if you're old and familiar to this channel, then you know we advocate for intensive farming, and that is what we at Semenshia Farm are also trying to do. Today I've come to Kenya to learn more about how they're doing dairy farming and also how they are managing intensive farming. So come along with me as I meet with Eunice, who is the farm manager here, right? Hi Eunice, how are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good.
Yes.
Thank you so much for having us.
You're most welcome.
Just to give you a bit of context, so this channel is for farmers
Okay.
everywhere in the world that are thinking about going into farming. We have so much great ideas and practices in Africa, but we are not putting it out there for people to learn,
Very
right? So what we are doing with this channel is to put all the information, good ideas, even mistakes out there,
Yes.
so that somebody who is sitting there and thinking about going into farming can learn one or two from us.
true.
So we've been doing that in Ghana. In Ghana, we don't do intensive farming. Our cattle are running around,
Okay.
and it's causing a lot of trouble, destroying people's farm, and we're also not able to scale because if they are running around you and they are plenty, you can't control them.
Sure.
So I've come here to learn from you how you're managing your intensive cattle. Your cows are big. I haven't seen this big cow in Ghana before. Guys, tell me if I'm wrong in the comment below, but I haven't seen such a big cow in Ghana. So first of all, please tell us a bit about yourself.
Well, Eunice Njoki, vet by profession.
Okay.
Right now I'm working in Maramba Estate as a dairy manager, the technician here. I do all the stuff, all the feed formulation, artificial insemination, taking care and managing generally all the stuff about the animals. Around here we have 65 animals. We have 30 milkers and 35 the rest, the dry cows, the heifers, the calves, and we have one bull. We don't keep bulls a lot because economically they are not viable. For us, we have less than 15 acres to take care of those animals. So if we do keep the bulls and they are heavy feeders, we won't be able to keep them. So we concentrate much more on the heifers because we are very near. We are just 20 kilometers from the capital city.
Yeah.
So our milk has a ready market.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't even move the milk from our farm.
Yeah.
They come in and pick the milk from there. So that's why we are more into the heifers other than the bulls. Right now, we are milking the 30 milkers that we are doing. We have an average of 580 to 620. So that's an average of around 20 liters per cow.
Yeah.
And there are some that are very high at 30, 40. Others are below 15. The ones that are almost going to dry. By dry, I mean they are almost going into calving. So
Okay.
there is that period that we will stop milking them
Yeah.
for 2 months. Then they calve down. Then we start milking again.
Okay.
So that's basically it.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. I have so many questions I want to ask you, but I know we're gonna do different episodes for this. Let's first of all maybe start with the breeds that you have here. So what kind of breeds do you have here that you're milking?
What we have here is pure Holstein Friesians,
Okay.
but we have around 5 animals that are a mixture of Freckview. Freckview is more of a beef animal that was introduced in Kenya for dual purpose, both milk and beef. So we crossed that. For the beef part of it, if we get the bulls, we can get a better market. But over the time, we have realized that they are very heavy feeders, yet their milk is not so much.
Okay.
So right now, what we are doing pure breeding for Holstein Friesians,
Okay.
which are high producers. Yes, they are heavy feeders, but they are also high producers of milk.
Okay.
That's why we have so much milk at the moment.
I will come to the feeding part, but you also did mention that you're a vet.
Yes.
So tell me about your experience as a vet in Kenya, because in Ghana, I've never seen a vet in Ghana who also is working at the farm. They are at the office, and when you need them, you go, you pay, they come, then they go back. So tell me about your experience, because this is very unique and new to me. I wish I had a vet in my farm 24/7. So tell me about that.
Well, in Kenya, we are so many. Let me say, generally, we are so many. Most of in the 90s, 80s, every vet used to be absorbed by the government. So most of them were government workers for extension, for treatment, and for all that stuff. But the development of the governments in our country made it to be more spacious. So they are not absorbing them anymore. The farmers have gone very intensive, so they need more of us. That's why some of us are in the farms. A farm like this one invests in 65 animals. One animal like this one, what we have here, I don't know whatever dollars, but in Kenya shillings, it's around 300,000 Kenya shillings.
300,000 Kenya shillings. Yeah.
Because she's a heifer, first calving, she's producing over 25 kgs of milk, and she's very young, by the way. She's just 2 years, 3 months. So with that kind of intensive care, you need someone who has the technical know-how. And also, the best thing about having a vet in your farm, they are all around. When we go to the colleges, we are taught about the feeds, we are taught about the animal health, we are taught about the management of your staff. So it's a one-stop shop. So that's why some of these farmers that are in our country, that's why they are using the vets.
Okay.
Yes.
That makes sense. And so did you move straight from school to the farm, or did you work in the office a bit before?
Oh yes, I worked for the government of Kenya for 5 years. I was mostly an extension worker. An extension worker means you go and train the farmers on the best practices for the animals.
Yeah.
That was very general.
Yeah.
You are in cattle, bees, you are in goats, you are in rabbits and everything.
Yeah.
I've also worked for an NGO that was catering more. It was very specific on a disease called East Coast fever. Okay. Well, I don't know whether you have it in West Africa, but around here there is a tick that bites these animals and it causes so much damage. Yeah.
Is it the lumpy disease?
Not the lumpy disease.
No, not the lumpy disease.
No. But the funniest thing is that the lymph nodes are the ones that are most swollen. So that's how you notice it. But it is more in East Africa, not the West Africa. So there was that research we were doing with the International Livestock Research Center. Yeah. I worked there for several years. Yeah. Then after that, I've been in farms.
Good. And which one do you enjoy most? I know we are going to come to the animals, but I'm very interested in your story and what you do, because I think the success, anybody that's watching us and wants to start a project, their success will depend on people like you to be able to contribute either through an extension officer or being on the farm to be able to succeed, right? Because most of us don't even have the skills and the ideas, right? And that's why I'm focusing a bit more about you. But what have you enjoyed most? Is it being at the farm or being an extension officer?
Well, I think it's both. But being on the farm is more fun because it's all about expanding your scope of knowledge. Yeah. So every day you have a new challenge. You can do one or two. In the government, I also enjoyed it because what I have, I was giving it to others. Yeah. I was training farmers, and I really loved the dairy and the apiculture. I also did so much about bees. Okay. So those two lines, Actually, even if I go back to where I was, I'm very proud of myself because they produce a lot of honey, they produce a lot of milk. So I know there is an impact that I did there. Because in this world, what we usually say in my tribe, what you have, you will die with it. Unless you give it out. That's the only way you can help this world. I can give you money today, but you spend it the next moment. But the knowledge I'll give you, it will be with you forever.
And which is what you're sharing with us today.
Exactly.
So thank you so much. I think we have the same goal here, and I hope that you will appreciate. Please, if you're watching us, write in the comment and say thank you to Eunice for having that mentality to share with us. Most veterinaries, you even call them to your farm, they won't come. You know, they come, they want to go, and Beatrice has sacrificed, and that's such an impactful work here. Thank you guys again for watching. I'm going to continue this episode with Beatrice, and we're going to dive into so many different things because there's so many things we can learn from her and from how she's running her farm. Thank you so much for watching. Tomorrow at the same time, I'm going to release another video where we're going to now focus on more on the breeds, dairy versus beef. We're going to talk about feeding. We're going to talk about their housing, diseases control, everything that we can learn from her as much as she gave us the time. But thank you, and thank you so much again.